Right, everyone, if you're interested in learning how to make the lighter coloured square crackers, I'm going to do a demo now. And they're made mostly with the main ingredient. You've probably seen the ingredients. Can anyone guess what the main ingredient is in the lighter coloured square crackers? Any guesses? The lighter coloured ones. No carrot in the lighter coloured ones. No, yeah, those ones. Almonds, yeah, ground almonds, yeah. So that's what we start with. About a cup and 3/4 of ground almonds. So in they go. And you'll probably see that it's not, the actual amounts aren't that seriously important. So there's about 3/4 of a cup. So 1 3/4 of ground almonds. And I've just realised I haven't got the bullet here. I need the bullet. Very good. Here I am back again. Sorry about that, everyone. So 1 3/4 cups of ground almonds into a nice bowl, and about half a cup of linseed. And again, you can see I'm not being very serious about the amount. This is not one you have to be serious about the amounts. So I've got about half a cup there, but they have to be ground first. Linseed's much more, our body can use the goodness in linseed much better if it's been through one of these beasties. So we'll just give it a blast. Just for a second. That's all that needs. On our farm we grow linseed, and it looks beautiful when it's in flower. Who knows what colour the flower of linseed is? Anybody? Blue. Who said blue? Well done, you. Yeah, so it's a beautiful blue paddock, and it looks really pretty. And we sell the grain, so it could even have come off our farm, this stuff, I don't know. But it's also the straw that's left over after the linseed's been harvested is brilliant for mulching the garden with. So I've got masses of this beautiful, hard to break down mulch in my garden because it's so stringy, it doesn't break down, and it lasts for about 2 years. So I feel like you've got to have some wins when you're farming. So that's good to have. Okay, so I've got 1 3/4 cups of ground almonds, half a cup of ground linseed, and now I want to put in 1/3 of a cup of savoury yeast flakes. So we'll get that. And again, you can see how these things, you know how sometimes they really come out like that, like really big? So they've got to go in the bullet as well to make them a bit more user-friendly, because otherwise they're not going to make a very good dough, are they? So they can go in the bullet. About 1/3 of a cup. Again, you can see I'm not being very serious about the exact amount. So we'll just give that a quick blast. That's all that needs. Very good. Well, they're still a bit big, that'll do. Okay. Is Katie here? Oh, she's not. Can someone get Katie to come up here? Thanks, Tucker. So I just mix those through together. And now you can basically flavour that basic shape with your ground almonds, your ground linseed and your savoury yeast flakes with whatever you like. You can put in garlic powder, you can put in onion powder, you can put in, this is for Kerry, did you want to take that to her? She needs that to do the soup. Thanks, darling. Thanks, dear. So you can flavour it however, which way you like. Oregano's nice, but what I'm going to put in tonight is a little bit of salt, just a teaspoon of salt, and some chopped up rosemary. That's what's actually in those. I don't know if you could taste the rosemary. Could you taste the rosemary in it? Maybe, maybe not. So that's about a tablespoon of that, however much you like. It doesn't, again, it's a real whatever flavour you like, whatever amount you like type recipe, this. So, ground almonds, ground linseed, yeast flakes, and then the flavouring that you want. So that's pretty straightforward. And then we put in a little bit of moisture. So we're going to put in 1 tablespoon of tamari. And about 1/3 of a cup of water. Tamari, so that's sort of like soy sauce. But this is nicer than, it's a bit smoother than soy sauce. Soy sauce can be quite rough, I think, but this is a bit bit sweeter. And this one's gluten-free as well. So that's nice for gluten-free people. Yeah. So yeah, basically you could use soy sauce. This is probably slightly dearer, but I think it's a slightly nicer taste. It's not quite as sort of salty, it's not as strong. Yeah. And a third of a cup of water, so that can go in. So there we are, that's that. So we'll just mix this into a dough. It doesn't need much moisture. So we'll see how that goes. We want it to stick together. The linseed is actually really good for making glue. Right. Is that going to stick or not? Yeah, I think it will. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Right. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a tray here with some baking paper on it, and I'm going to put the mixture into the middle of that. And I'm going to make it into a nice little blob in the middle, a nice neat little blob. Sticks together rather well. Sometimes you've got to wet your hands because it just sticks to your hand, but somehow for some reason this one is not too sticky, it's just a nice amount. It always seems to be different, so I don't have to wet my hands. But if you find it sticks to your hands, just dip your hands in water and do it, and you'll find it won't stick. Okay, so that's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of baking paper and put it on top, and then I'm going to roll it out with my rolling pin. This rolling pin is my mother-in-law's mother's rolling pin, and I've got a grandson, so it's his great-great-grandmother's. I look at it like that. And look at it, it's indestructible. It just still goes beautifully, so I think it's a great weapon, this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this here between the two sheets of paper so that it doesn't stick. But I've made a mistake, and that is I haven't got normally I put a wet dishcloth under here so it doesn't move around too much, but it's moving around a bit, so it's a little bit tricky, but I'll still manage to do it, but it'll just be not as streamlined looking. But I'm just going to roll this until it's covered the whole area. Right. And I rub my hand over it to make sure it's not too lumpy, because you don't want it too thick in the middle. Because when you come to bake it, the outside will cook quicker than the inside, so it's another thing to bear in mind. Right, it's looking quite good. It's feeling quite smooth, it's quite good. Right. And you remove the top piece of paper. Look at that. Okay. And then we just cut it up and bake it. But to cut it up, I've got this new weapon. You know, there's that shop in Morehouse Ave. It's called Kitchen Things or something. It's a great kitchen shop. I just love it. And I bought this the other day. So you can. It's got little knives on the end, and you can make beautiful regular shaped biscuits or whatever. So I'm going to make this like that. Then I just tighten the little butterfly. And then you just, I might go a little bit bigger actually. Okay, cut this. Like that. And then just change the shape of it. To about there. And we'll go down this way. There we go. So that'll go in the oven at about 140 for about half an hour. And you've got to watch it, as I say. You can easily burn it because it's only very, very thin. I mean, it's only about 1 or 2 millimetres thick, so it's quite easy to burn. So just keep your eye on it when it's in the oven. And because you've already scored it, once it's out and cooled down on a baking tray, it falls apart really easily. So there we go. That's all you need to do.